everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound. Today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Polestar 2 and its 13-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the Android Automotive Infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 surround capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this sound system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. Tonight I'm going to head out on the range test on this car, and I'm going to play member-requested tracks, real copyrighted music, and it'll let you get a more in-depth kind of experience for the system. So if you want to see that and support the channel, check the link below. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Got it parked in a little bit into the trees here in order to give us some shade on this warm summer day. But this is the single motor long-range Polestar 2, obviously with the Plus pack giving us that Harman Kardon sound system. I've been enjoying my time with the Polestar 2 so far. We actually had the dual motor performance model before this, and now we've got this more basic version. And there are elements of this one that I like better than that hypo one. So I think this is probably the one to get, but if you do want to see my full formulation of thoughts on it, check the link below. Got the full review. Like I said, we're going to have that range test of this one as well, the members only sound test, and also a dedicated infotainment breakdown on this car. So if you want to see that, learn how to use it a little more, all of that can be found below. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality roll-into binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. I should say, getting the USB stick to play through this car is not as easy as it is with most vehicles. You have to have an app installed called Audio Wagon. You do that by being logged in to the Google or the Android Automotive system here, going to the Play Store, and then searching for Audio Wagon. You install that. That allows you to play USB files here, and then it's one of these many audio apps. Click on that, and then you get a pretty full-fledged USB stick file system kind of explorer here. It'll either give you just tracks, or you can do it by albums, artists, or files. Pretty straightforward there. And to get to sound settings, you go back here to home, bring up this settings menu, and then to sound. You can see how quickly everything responds. First off, we get sound experience, and from here you get the first screen, sound optimization. That's allowing you to choose between driver, all, and rear focused and tuned sound. So let's go through those. We're in driver now. Here's all. And rear. In general, if you want the best sound for the driver's seat, you're going to want the driver sound optimization. It might sound a little weird at first, but it's actually timing all the speakers to focus right here where my head is, as opposed to trying to accommodate for 4 or 5 different seating positions around the vehicle. Then we have adjustments for the amount of surround sound. So right now I have it off, but I'm going to turn it on and then adjust how much surround is happening. Now, that artificial surround is going to make your music a little bit less than true to recording, but I do appreciate the surround algorithm in this car. It sounds nice and natural. It's not too dramatic or hollow sounding. So when I'm listening to music, I do like to have a little bit of surround on, but for this test, we'll leave it off. Backing out of sound experience, we go to tone and equalizer, and you're first greeted with treble, bass, and subwoofer. However, I appreciate that Polestar gives you an advanced equalizer right here. You press on, and look at that, a 9-band equalizer going from 75 Hertz all the way up to 16,000 Hertz. And importantly, the reset button at the bottom, in case you screw everything up like this. It's actually not the biggest range of adjustment, because even that's not too bad. But if you really make things wonky, you just hit reset, brings everything down to normal. So we'll go through treble and bass. Subwoofer as well.
So
So I love having that adjustability there. This is such a straightforward way to do it. If you want it simple, here's your simple adjustments. If you want more advanced stuff, give it to us. It's all software anyway. And that's all you've got for audio adjustments. For audio controls here in the Polestar, you've got nice volume knob here in the center, easy to reach for both the driver and passenger. Decent clickage as well, nice texture on there. And then you've got volume buttons up and down on the right side of the wheel. For track selection, unfortunately no physical controls up here. It's not like some cars where you can move the volume knob back and forth in order to adjust tracks. You got to do that from the proper menu on the screen. You can see, for example, if I'm in the settings screen here, I have no way for the passenger or myself in the center to adjust track. But you do have physical controls on the right side of the wheel here near the volume controls. For audio inputs in the Polestar, that gets a little tough here because you do have a Sirius XM radio, but it's an application. It's actually using streaming there. And then you do have the radio here, but it looks like it's just FM, if I'm not mistaken. No AM radio. And then you go back, and essentially everything else is an app. You've got the Bluetooth media player, so you can do Bluetooth media streaming. You've got Apple CarPlay support, but no Android Auto, so you can't pair up an Android phone and use it with Android Auto. But you've got these applications that you can install from the Play Store, such as YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify. I know you can get Tidal as well, and theoretically they could add more. Here's SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Deezer, TuneIn, Pocket Casts. So a lot of different options there depending on what you listen to. Hopefully they make an Android Automotive application, or you can just use Bluetooth, but if you're somebody who wants to use high fidelity audio, then you're a little bit more limited there. And we'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the video. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 13 speaker system. Starting in the bottom left here, we've got a Door mid-ranger 1, tweeter 2, 3 what they call a full range driver there, 4, 5 on the other side. We actually have a subwoofer up there in the firewall somewhere as well, so that gives us 6. Second row, back seat, tweeter and mid-ranger 7, 8, 9, 10 on the other side. We have another subwoofer, their open air subwoofer they call, down here above the rear wheel, giving us 11. And then 12, 13. They said they're in the back here somewhere. Ah, right there. Yep, 12, 13 mid-rangers there. Or actually, no, those are woofers. Those are full range drivers. 1, 2, 3 full range drivers, and then the mid-rangers, tweeter, and woofers. For those of you who watch our channel regularly, you'll notice we are testing out a few new tracks for the audio test here. I've used the same, 8 tracks? The same 8, yeah, I think same 8 tracks for years now at this point because I want consistency. And because of that, we're going to have to keep those 8 tracks around, but I might want to throw a new one in here soon. So I'm testing out a few new tracks. They're all similar genre-y. I'm trying to get a little bit more vocal and a little bit more bass into the mix. So let me know what you think of them as we're listening. But we now must use the immersiveaudioalbum.com 5.1 test to see if this car supports 5.1 audio. You know what? I think my 5.1 test is corrupt because this is not the first time it's happened that it's just stopped right there. So that's not good because immersiveaudioalbum.com doesn't provide this test track anymore. They provide a different one. So I'm going to have to cut forward here and hopefully figure out why that's been cutting off. We've got a refreshed version of the Immersive Audio Album 5.1 surround test. We're going to do that here in a moment, but I also wanted to add on and point out that if you're going to use some of these built-in applications like YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, whatever, make sure you go into them and you bump up your sound quality. You can see here, opening YouTube Music, you go up to the gear icon and see audio quality on mobile network. You want to have that on high. Technically, you could do always high as well. However, then if you have a low signal situation, you're going to get buffering, whereas on high, it will drop down to normal or low quality with low signal, but then if it comes back up, it'll pop back up to high. Same thing, you go Amazon Music, you can see, go to the gear icon, high quality streaming, you want to have that on. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to give you necessarily the highest bit rate like you get with your phone, where you can get full uncompressed audio with Amazon Music, but it's still going to be better than Bluetooth, and it's going to be better than not checking that HQ. Now, let's go and test the 5.1 capabilities, again, using Audio Wagon.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround. Right surround. LFE.
Okay, so no 5.1 support, just 2-channel. Okay, not the end of the world, but just something to know. Alright, with that, let's get out on the road. appreciating the authentic, natural sound coming out of this system. Between the open air subwoofers and whatever tuning they decided to go with here for the flat EQ, there's just a little bit of warmth and a nice tone to everything. And from what I am noticing on the downside is a bit of loss of power on some of those heavier hits at higher volumes. So it doesn't seem to be the best system for really cranking out at loud volumes. But if you're someone who likes to listen to low and medium music and get a lot of warmth and natural fidelity to the sound, really, really good for that here so far. But speaking of power, for this next track, we'll turn the bass all the way up, hear how it sounds. We'll do bass and subwoofer. Alright, so you hear how the volume went down a little bit there. So that 600 watts just quite not living up to what we need for full bass, but like I said, at normal listening volumes, it sounds quite good. My thoughts on the 13-speaker Harman Kardon system here in the 24 Polestar 2. I gotta say, this is a really excellent system, especially when you're using the right sort of inputs. Now, because you can't do Android Auto, you're a little bit more limited in your high fidelity inputs. But if you are able to use one of the built-in streaming services or get a USB drive with your high fidelity music like this, you're gonna have a really good time. Like I said earlier, my favorite aspect of the system is how nice and warm and balanced all the sound is. It's a very high, how do I describe this? Warm is the best way I can put it, but it sounds very natural. It doesn't sound poppy and artificial and kind of boosted. It sounds very good for just good, clean, crisp sort of music listening. And as I said earlier, it's missing a little bit of that power. You can hear some of the dips in sound when it's really trying to hit those hard, heavy notes. But overall, I'm very happy with the system. So for me, it's getting a solid A tier. It's not quite getting up into that mind-blowing S tier category, but especially for the price, now that Polestar 2s have come down in price, it's only a few grand to get this package, pretty darn good deal. So thank you all so much for watching. Now, unlike most tests, I'm going to demo some of our new sample tracks here after this, so we're going to spend a little bit more time listening to those. But if you do want to see more on the Polestar 2, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on. Necessarily love any of those. This is the strongest contender, I would say. It's got a good amount of kind of crispy highs to test out the system, and also that silence right there would be good for measuring loudness inside as well. So, all right, thanks everybody.